Hello. So I bet you can already tell we're talking about chemical and physical changes today and how to tell the difference between the two. So I wanted to tell you about this super awesome file that I put under your files tab. This is called Cool Guys Love Their Phones. And this is what you can look at to see if you have a chemical or a physical change. So what it comes down to is if you see any evidence of these things right here, you'll know that you have a chemical change. And a chemical change is just a change that happens when you get a brand new substance. A physical change is, say, folding a piece of paper. Okay, that's a physical change. It's still paper. All you did was fold it. Now, if I took a piece of paper and held it over a fire and burnt it to ashes and gas, now we have a chemical change. And we know that looking at this right here, unexpected color change, gas released, light released, temperature change, and here we have precipitate, which we'll talk about that in just a minute. If we burn something, we have a temperature change. It gets really hot. It gives off light, so light's being released, and there's a color change because the paper would go from white to black if we burnt it. Okay, do you kind of see how this works? So let's talk this out. The first one is cool. So cool for unexpected color change, that C right there. Now, if you're making Kool-Aid and you're making grape Kool-Aid, you pour the water in there, water's clear, you mix it with grape Kool-Aid and it turns purple. That's not unexpected. That's what we think is going to happen anyway. The complicated part of this is when something crazy happens. So you have a mystery substance in a glass. You're not really sure what it is, right? But it's clear. So then here you have another substance in another beaker, and when you pour them together, they were both clear on their own. If you pour them together and they turn purple, that is unexpected. So you have two clear substances, you pour them together, and the color changes to purple. That is unexpected color change. Okay, this isn't just a change that we think is going to happen anyway. So that's the unexpected color change, the cool part of Cool Guys or Gals Love Their Phones. All right, next we have gas released. So if you have ever seen baking soda and vinegar mixed together, so you have a powder, a white powder, and if you dump that into vinegar, it makes all kinds of crazy bubbles. That is gas being released. You might see the same thing when you open a bottle of Coke. That's a gas being released, those fuzzy bubbles. All kinds of things could have a gas release. So that is the guys or gals part of Cool Guys Love Their Phones. Okay, gas being released. Next, we have the love part. So the love part is where light's being released. So again, we can talk about the fire. If we burn paper, the flames are the light that's being released. So that's the love part of Cool Guys Love Their Phones. Next, we have temperature change. So if you have a temperature change in a substance, when you mix two things together, maybe it gets hot or it could even get cold. If you have a temperature change, boom, you should know you have a chemical change there because you wouldn't expect a temperature to change if there wasn't a chemical reaction happening. Okay, last but not least, we have the phones part, which is a precipitate being formed. So this is kind of cool if you ever see it happen. If you have two chemicals that are liquids, and you mix them together, if they form a solid whenever they get mixed, that's that precipitate. So that's the P for Cool Guys Love Their Phones. I hope this helps you whenever you're trying to decide if these examples that I'm going to give you over the next couple of days are physical changes or chemical changes. So just remember, Cool Guys Love Their Phones. If you wanted to write these down, probably a good idea in your notes, or you could go to our files in the files area, class materials, properties and changes, and then Cool Guys right there, and that'll open this up for you. You could print it off or, like I said, copy it down, but it's a good thing to have. Okay, y'all are amazing and have a wonderful day. Keep going on this assignment until you're done. Okay.